Hello, everyone, and welcome to Travel Talk, the podcast where we share tips and stories about traveling. I'm Anna, your host, and today we'll be talking about airports everything from check-in to boarding. And to help me with this, I've brought along two guests, my friends Sarah and Tom, who travel a lot as well. Welcome to the show, Sarah and Tom.
Hi, Anna. Great to be here.
Hey Anna, thanks for having us.
So let's jump right in. One of the biggest stresses when flying is getting to the airport on time. Sarah, how early do you usually get there?
Oh, I'm definitely an early bird. I like to get to the airport about 3 hours before an international flight. It just gives me peace of mind, you know?
I'm with you on that. What about you, Tom?
Well, I try to arrive at least 2 hours before domestic flights, but for international flights, I do what Sarah does 3 hours. I don't want to take any chances, especially with security lines being unpredictable.
Exactly. And speaking of security, let's talk about the check-in process. What's your go-to method, Sarah?
Oh, I always use the self-service kiosks. They're quick, and I don't have to wait in line at the counter. You just scan your passport, punch in your booking code, and you're done. Super easy.
Same here, and if you don't have checked luggage, you can go straight to security afterward. I love that. It saves so much time.
Yes, those kiosks are a game changer. But if you do have luggage to check, make sure to double-check the airline's weight limits to avoid any last-minute surprises. Now, let's move on to security. What's your routine when going through security, Tom?
I always try to be prepared, like taking out my laptop, liquids, and anything metal before I even get to the front of the line. Oh, and I wear shoes that are easy to slip on and off. It makes the whole process quicker.
Yes, slip-on shoes are a lifesaver. I used to wear boots, but after struggling to take them off and put them back on a few times, I learned my lesson. Now, I stick to comfy sneakers.
That's a great tip. Once you're through security, you're usually left with some time to spare. What do you guys do while waiting at the gate?
I love grabbing a coffee and maybe a snack, especially if I didn't have time for breakfast. It helps me relax before the flight.
I'm more of a people watcher. Airports are fascinating, so many different types of travelers from all over the world. It's fun to just sit back and observe.
I'm a bit of both. I'll grab a coffee and then sit near the gate, checking out the people around me. But I do like to be at my gate at least 30 minutes before boarding starts. Speaking of which, how do you guys handle boarding? Do you wait until your group is called, or do you line up early?
I wait. There's no point rushing because your seat is already assigned. Plus, waiting a little longer means I can stretch my legs before being cramped up in the plane.
I'm with Tom on this. I prefer to wait until most of the crowd is on board. That way, I can avoid the chaos of the line and settle in quickly.
Agreed. Now let's talk about seats. Window, aisle, or middle. What's your preference?
Window seat for sure. I love looking out at the clouds, and it's perfect for longer flights because I can lean against the window and sleep.
I'm an aisle guy. I like having the freedom to get up and walk around, especially on long flights, and I don't have to bother anyone when I need to use the bathroom.
I think I'm with you on that, Tom. All seats give you that extra bit of freedom. So once you're settled in, what's your must-have for a flight?
For me, it's a good book or my Kindle. I love using that time to catch up on reading.
Noise-canceling headphones. It's a game changer when it comes to blocking out the noise of the plane and relaxing with music or a podcast.
Yes, headphones are a must for me too. All right, before we wrap up, let's quickly touch on something important for international travelers checking your passport and visas. Any tips, Sarah?
Definitely. Always make sure your passport is valid for at least 6 months beyond your travel date, and double-check visa requirements before you fly. You don't want to be turned away at the airport because of something like that.
Yeah, and remember to have copies of your passport and important documents, just in case something happens to the originals.
Excellent advice, both of you. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks so much, Sarah and Tom, for joining me and sharing your tips.
It was fun. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this was great. Happy travels, everyone.
Thanks again for tuning into Travel Talk. I hope these tips make your next airport experience smooth and stress-free. Safe travels, and we'll catch you next time.
English